Hello there, I'm Michelle Sklar. We are here at Mobile World Congress, and I am joined by Femto Forum's Simon Saunders. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us.
I'm pleased to talk to you.
So what is the Femto Forum?
So the Femto Forum is an international industry association. We're devoted to promoting femtocell technology and the use of it worldwide. We're made up of operators and vendors. We've got over 100 members today. Our operator members span 1.3 billion mobile subscribers worldwide. We have all of the top 5 network infrastructure vendors and many providers of all of the other elements that are necessary to bring a femtocell system together.
Okay, so now let's talk about exactly what are femtocells.
What
is a femtocell?
So it's a very small cell, as the name suggests. Now, what a femtocell is a low-power access point that you can use in your home or in your office. You take the femtocell, you plug it into your normal broadband connection. The femtocell then automatically sets itself up and starts delivering you great mobile service. That mobile service works with all of the existing phones today, so that 4 billion mobile users worldwide could benefit from the femtocell technology. For the customer, it does a number of things. First of all, it delivers great coverage in the home. So all around the home, you've got 5 bars. And you can really start to rely on your phone for those important calls. You can be sure you're going to get great call quality, and you can use your phone, your mobile, as a personal device in preference to using fixed lines, for example. What it also does is means that the operator can then deliver that service to you at very low cost, and then they have the opportunity to give you a special tariff at home, a big bundle of voice and so on. Beyond that, particularly with the vast growth in mobile broadband data, they allow, femtocells allow phones to work at their best capability. So you're working at the highest data rates that are available, whereas typically it's only, you get those data rates if you're standing very close to a base station. So you can get great internet services. Looking further beyond that, femtocells provide a platform for new services that you can't get in the outdoor network.
Right. Simon, how easy is it for the end user to actually set up a femtocell? Hardware, I guess, is what they're actually dealing with.
Yeah, it's dead easy for them. They don't need any particular knowledge or expertise whatsoever. A normal base station needs a lot of radio planning and optimization expertise. The femtocell is very intelligent, does all that for you. From the customer's point of view, you plug it in, you wait a few minutes for the green lights to come on, you're done, and you start receiving service. In that period of time, the femtocell has sensed the surrounding network environment, it's adjusted all of its parameters, it's authenticated itself with the operator's network, so it does actually become part of the operator's network, managed by them, and starts delivering you great service right away. So we talk about femtocells being zero-touch devices.
Okay.
You don't have to access a PC or a web page or anything. All you need is the femto and your phone and the ability to plug that into a broadband connection, and that's it.
And how are femtocells going to fit into LTE and WiMAX and the evolution of that next generation of technology?
Right. Well, femtocells can work with any licensed mobile technology, anything working in licensed spectrum. So that means all the 3G variants, it means LTE, it means WiMAX, it means UMTS, the whole works. It can be GSM as well. They occupy a special place for LTE and for WiMAX and other next generation technologies because operators are starting from the beginning with that technology. Traditionally, they'd have to spend a lot of money and a lot of time rolling out a wide area network. With an LTE femto or a WiMAX femto, they can actually build their network from the inside out. They can bring it to market faster than would otherwise be the case. They don't have to wait 18 months or 2 years to get permission to upgrade a site, for example. They can put that in, they can stimulate customer demand for those services. They'll work at their highest data rates, realizing the fullest potential. And they can use that to build demand and then to justify the business case to take that into the wide area network. And in these challenging economic times, that's great. It's really cheap for them to get started with that, and it de-risks it so that as demand rises and falls, they can respond to that overnight.
Right. In fact, that was one of the points that I wanted to bring up. If, operators and carriers scratching their heads at the types of investments that they need to make to facilitate what people want to do with their devices today. And so if this is something that is not cost intensive, I would imagine that the uptake from the carrier's point of view is certainly going to be strong.
Absolutely. There's a very low entry cost to get involved, and the ability to respond to that fast growing data and the demand for new services very, very swiftly, even if you're only targeting initially a particular customer segment that might be relatively small. So as a result of that, what we've done is a lot of work over the last year particularly in addressing anything that might be a barrier to help operators bring that to market. We've We've helped with standards, we've helped with the ecosystem to bring that together. We've made sure that all of the technical challenges are overcome or overcomable. And as a result of that, right now, we're seeing a lot of operators starting to come to market and to express very warmly their opportunities. So we've seen multiple launches in the US. We've had Sprint some months ago. We've had Verizon just 3 or 4 weeks ago launch femtocell services. We've heard AT&T just yesterday talking about their plans during this year to bring femtocells to market. We've got activity from SoftBank in Japan and StarHub in Singapore, and really right around the world. Operators are seeing this technology as a standard part of rolling out their networks for the future.
So you're mentioning with regards to AT&T that this also will facilitate them to deliver new services, not just necessarily offering the same services. Maybe you can speak to some of the specific new services that AT&T, for example, is going to be utilizing femtocells for.
Absolutely. So they were speaking yesterday, and they talked about, in the first instance, femtocells give them the chance to give the great coverage and the higher data speeds and also good voice plans. Beyond that, however, they can utilize their IMS network, which is already delivering IPTV today over their fixed network, and femtocells give them the ability to mobilize that at low cost, so the customer gets access to a given set of TV programming on the big screen or the small screen on their mobile, and get that personalized and delivered to them straight away.
And what is the convergence or the interoperability between the various devices that a consumer may have? So, for example, with the deployment of new networks, we're seeing the ability for us to sort of have this anywhere network, anywhere on situation, whether I'm in my vehicle or I'm in my home or I'm on the train or I'm at work. I can start watching a program in one location and then I can pick up watching it in another location. Will femtocells facilitate that as well?
Very much so, in several ways. I mean, first of all, probably a third of all of the voice traffic today is in the home, and that's despite operators not being able to give an assured service. So that will continue to grow as femtocells deliver that. Beyond that, femtocells give you services like, for example, you may subscribe to some video podcasts or so. You subscribe to those on your phone. When you get home, your femtocell recognizes it's you, delivers all that content to your mobile, and you can carry that with you out beyond the home. Similarly, some fun new services can come around as a result of that. I could put a notice on your Facebook page and say, when you get home, just remember to feed the cat. You know? So you step into your house, the femto recognizes it's you and you're specifically at home, and delivers that message to you.
Wow.
Make sure you lock the door when you leave. It can synchronize all of the photos or videos you've taken on your phone without you having to do a thing. It will just recognize that.
So you've given some examples as far as deployment in some of the more advanced markets, whether it be North America or Japan, for example. What about femtocells in emerging markets where certainly rural communications, for example, are extremely important, and those infrastructures that we see in more of the modern markets aren't necessarily in existence in these emerging markets? Do femtocells need to piggyback off of something that's already entrenched in a region, or do they provide opportunities in emerging markets?
Sure, yeah, it's a very interesting topic. So most of the deployment and the interest today has been in developing markets, as you say, but actually femtocells being low cost and delivering the ability to install and get up and running a network with little specialist skills enables the use of very much local labour resources. It enables you to light up an area for coverage very quickly while still being under the full control of the operator. The fact that femtocells can work with any of the major mobile technologies, so for example you can deliver a GSM coverage into a remote village overnight. You need to provide some backhaul to that, some broadband, and if wired broadband is not available, then satellite backhaul, for example, or indeed wireless backhaul is very much an option.
Well, Simon, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate that. We've been here with Simon Saunders from the Femto Forum, and we're here at Mobile World Congress. I'm Michelle Sklar.